All right, so good morning, everybody. Happy Father's Day and happy summer solstice, the first day of summer, first official day of summer. And it's kind of nice or kind of interesting that these two things are coinciding. I don't know when calendars, switch over and whatever, how that happens, but it does, that these energies are coinciding because in yoga, the energy of the sun is generally associated with the energy of the masculine principle. So not male, but masculine, right? The masculine energy of the universe. And that is the energy that's said to be the one that is steady, right? That the feminine energy is the one that is constantly moving, evolving, changing, fluctuating, and the masculine energy is the one that is fixed, right? That it's more in that stable place of just being, right? So the sun in some ways is this experience of there being that moment of illumination where when you realize something is true, right? It's true forever. It's not like it's true today, but it's not true tomorrow. When something is true, capital T, that's how yoga does it. Anything that is non-changing gets a capital. So that capital T truth, right, is something that once you feel it, it's like a foreverness, right? And that's the concept of the sun, the illumination that we experience through yoga, or that we're asked to experience or try to experience, is that it's a foreverness, right? So what you find yourself coming into in a yoga practice, or what you find yourself coming back to, is a sense of yourself, not just in that every day, I'm changing every day, fluctuating every day, but that you're finding that moment where you can experience yourself as forever, right? And sometimes we say infinite, sometimes we say eternity, and those words are weirder in our minds. Forever somehow makes more sense, right? So the practice is, can you feel that sense of foreverness right now? Even though things are still on the outside changing and changing and changing, there's a foreverness to you. And that's what we call the soul. That's what we call the illuminated experience of the self, right? So comfortable seat if you're not there already. Letting the eyes close. As you are breathing, start to breathe just with your mind, inhaling through the right nostril, exhaling out through the left. And it's just a continuous cycle like that, that you're inhaling through the right nostril, exhaling out through the left, following the breath with your mind. Good. Inhaling through the right, exhaling through the left. Right nostril is associated with the sun principle, sun energy, Surya. And we talk about it as being the energy that it's more fiery, it's more heating, it's more energizing, all of those things. But it's also symbolically that energy of illumination. So as you breathe in, you're breathing in the experience of, can I really see clearly who I am? Breathing in, can I really see clearly what's in front of me in my life? And see it not in the way that it's fluctuating, but can you see the underlying truths? Can you see the foreverness? Feel the foreverness. In through the right nostril, out through the left. And again, your breath can either just be a breath, right? You're experiencing the flow of air. Or it can be this experience of you interacting with that infiniteness. As the breath comes in, it's coming in from the infinite. You breathe that in, experience it. As you exhale, you're letting a piece of you, a part of you, flow back into that infiniteness, your consciousness moving in and moving out. But the joke is that it's always moving in and it's moving out. That fluctuation, the inhale, the exhale, it's all moving into the same space, always. The foreverness. So there is no separation between masculine and feminine. It's just you either feel it as an inhale and an exhale, or you simply feel it as breath. You either feel yourself as being someone who is going through a life day after day, breath after breath, or you know yourself to be a soul. No separation. So use your breath as a tool that I breathe in the experience of illumination. My exhale, maybe I let go of my attachment to what is fluctuating. If you were a little sleepy, the breathing through the right nostril might help wake you up. And on your next inhale, breathe up into the space of your third eye. So attention there between the eyebrows. Breathe in and up and pause. And then exhale the breath nice and slow all the way out. Conscious exhale, conscious exhale, conscious exhale. And bring the hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm. We'll open with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. And let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. You can release the hands from in front of the heart center, please. And then find your way onto your backs. We're going to start there. And I think I'm actually, Mark, can you just turn the air up a little bit? It's a little cold in here. Yeah, so actually turn the temperature up a little bit. Good. Find your way onto your backs, please. Bending the knees, planting your feet. Good. And then you're moving in and out of bridge pose. So if you're super close to the wall, or if you reach your arms up, you're going to touch the wall, scoot either the other way or turn yourself around on your mat. Good. Yeah, there you go. So bending the knees, planting your feet. Yeah, you're going to inhale your hips up into bridge, stretch the arms up overhead alongside your ears. Good. So the hips lift, the arms reach. Good. And then as you exhale, release the hips down, release the arms down. Good. And just continue with that. Inhaling, lifting the hips up, stretching the arms up overhead. So it's whole side body stretch. And then the exhale is releasing the hips down to the floor, releasing the arms down to the floor. Good. Keep going. Nice, you guys. Beautiful. I was thinking to myself, you know, when we come across Mother's Day, is, you know, our dharmas are, we go on and on and on and on and on about moms, on and on and on about the mother energy. And then we come to Father's Day and we're like, happy Father's Day. You know, good luck. Glad you have one, right? You know, and it's something that is part of our, I think, our mindset, right? Is that because we are so used to that kind of fluctuating energy, and we're so used to kind of gravitating towards what we think is supposed to be the one who is more loving, right? The energy that's more loving, as we associate that with mothers more than with fathers. And I don't think rightfully so in any way, right? But it's what we do, right? We associate, and so we run in the direction of where we think we're going to find what we're looking for. So it's an interesting thing to see that this masculine energy in yoga, again, it's almost described, we talk about Shakti a lot in yoga, but we don't talk a lot about the energy that is just being. We say, that's too foreign. But it's what we're looking for, right? It contains the exact same energy as the Shakti, the exact same energy as the feminine is within that masculine principle too, as they're united. They're one and the same, just one is moving and one is still. So it's in our minds getting rid of that divide, that somehow we get one thing from mothers, one thing from fathers, is that we get something from relationships, from individuals, from people, from heart to heart. Right? And every one of those hearts, as we're told, is a representation of that infinite heart. Next time your hips come down to the floor, let them stay there. Good. Then draw the right knee in towards your chest. Good. Send your left leg straight down to the floor. So you're hugging your right knee and left leg is extended down towards the floor. So you squeeze that knee in, push your shin back against your hand so you have a little bit of resistance. And then lift your left heel up off the floor just an inch or two. Good. And pull that left thigh up and in so your low belly engages and you're pressing down through your lower back. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, lift your shoulders off the floor like you're going to bring your forehead to that raised knee. Curl. Good. And then stay there and switch the knees. So draw the left knee in, right leg extends, hovering over the floor. Navel in, relax your shoulders. And then do it again. Change the knees, squeeze the right knee in, extend the left leg out. Good. Keep breathing. Draw the left knee in, right leg out. Good. Right knee in, left leg out. Change the knees. Good. And change. Good. And change. Nice. Staying with your breath, using the belly. and change. Keep your shoulders relaxed. You can always drop the shoulders back to the floor if you need here and just use the legs, but don't clench into your neck. Change again. Good. One more time, change. Good. And then relax the shoulders, squeeze both knees in towards your chest. Nice job, you guys. Good. Take the knees wide, reach for your ankles or your insteps for happy baby. Good. Again, the lower back anchoring down to the floor, lower abdominals drawing in to press the sacrum down, knees wide. Awesome. Don't let your heels go wider than your knees. So Susan, bring your heels in just a little bit more. Anastasia, same thing. Heels slightly in. Good, Carla. You got it. One more breath. Wide lower back. Good. And then bring the knees together in front of the chest. Squeeze in. Good. And then round your back again. You're going to roll on your spine forward and back. Good. Finding your way up to be able to balance on your sit bones as you roll up. Find the balance on your sit bones in boat pose. Shins lifted above the floor. Good. Stretch your arms forward. Nice. Yep. So again, hollowing that low belly, drawing the thigh bones in towards the pelvis. It's not just your belly, it's your legs. Squeeze in. Arms up alongside your ears. Get taller. Reach for the sky. Nice. Good. Chest up, arms wide. Good, Ralph. Good, Allison. Nice, Juliet. Good, Mark. And then release, please. Feet to the floor. Let your knees drop wide. Bottoms of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. Good morning. Deep breath in. And then bow forward, please. Either walking the hands forward of the feet or holding the ankles, whichever you prefer. Good. Press the baby toes into the floor. So again, you have some activity through the legs. Good. Then find the breath going wide through the backs of your shoulders. Find your shoulders dropping wide away from your ears. Nice, you guys. I think our practice is to start to undo that divide in our mind. There's an image of God, Goddess, Shiva, Shakti, where they are sitting side by side and literally straight down the middle. One half is masculine, looks like Shiva. The other half is feminine, looks like Parvati, right? And they're actually connected to each other. They merge into each other. And so can you start to experience your life this way, where you can see the benefits of one side or another, but that it all comes back into that state of being, right? No divide, no separation, just foreverness. Walk yourself all the way back up, please. Good. Cross your ankles, roll forward onto hands and knees. Do a little bit of cat and cow. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. With your breath, inhaling, chest long or chest up, belly long. Good. And then exhaling, curling and rounding. Good. Dropping the chin towards your chest. Nice. Continue inhaling, lengthening. So you already worked the abdominals a little bit, so now it's a stretch, right? Extend. And then curl in. Nice. And great to be aware of your rib cage as you move through cat and cow, so that the action is not pushing the ribs forward and up, but it's rather lengthening. So it's pulling the armpits and the hips away from each other in one direction, and then pulling the armpits and hips away from each other in the opposite direction. Good. I hope you make a practice of celebrating the important people in your life every day, whether they are male or female, non-binary, however they describe or experience themselves. You celebrate the influences, the ones that help you to see yourself as who you are. Because every heart is a reflection of that divine heart, every one of them. Yours too. Good. Come back to stillness, please. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Nice. Stretch the right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. So inhale that leg up and back. Good. And then step the foot forward between the hands, lunge. Yep, all the way forward. There you go. Fingertips on the floor or on blocks if you can't reach the floor. So just lift your chest so you have a long spine. And then scoop your low part of your belly, send that right knee over the ankle, drop your hips a little lower, and then press back through your left heel. So it's a little bit of a calf stretch. And it's like you're lifting your hips up and back, but you're keeping your pelvis in that real deep lunge. Good. And chest up, long spine. Good. One more breath. Nice. Now don't change any of that and take your arms to the sky. High lunge. Uh-huh. There you go. Press through that front heel. Nice job. Good, Marjorie. You got it, Lydia. Good, good, good. Nice, you guys. Take your hands back behind you, interlace your fingers at the low spine, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, hug the upper arms. And then instead of coming forward, lift your chest up and start to draw those hands down and back towards your back heel. So they lift just a little bit and your chest goes higher. So again, you're lengthening side body, getting that stretch through the front of the pelvic bones. Lift up. Good. One more breath. Float the hands up and back behind you. Feel the pressure, the squeeze behind the shoulders. Good. And then arms up to the sky. Inhale, deep breath. Beautiful. Release the hands down to the floor. Good. Drop the back knee, please. Both hands come inside your front foot. Walk to the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Come up on your fingertips. Let your hands go a little bit wider. And then as you're breathing in and out of those little chest push-ups that we do, right? So arms nice and wide up on fingertips. As you're exhaling, you're letting your elbows go wide, dropping your chest towards the floor, and then letting yourself rise up on the inhale. And again, it's less about trying to push yourself to the floor or push the floor away, but can you let yourself ride the breath, ride the pulsation? So the inhale is the natural rise, the exhale is the natural fall. Good. Right? Masculine acts one way, feminine acts another way. Instead of trying to define them apart from each other, can you start to feel how they flow together, how you flow together? Good. Nice, you guys. In my mind, I'm joking that there's someone else here who said that they have a wedding in a couple weeks, and I'm actually going to a wedding in a couple weeks, and we want to look nice and toned. So you've got to do your arm exercises. One more breath. And then walk yourself back in, please. Walk the hands back in. Left hand plants right arm to the sky, spinal twist. Keep that front knee over the front ankle. Again, we start to hang back as soon as we think that we can. Keep your pelvis moving forward, knee over the ankle. Yep. And then heart to the sky. Push through that left hand. Yes. Nice, you guys. Release the right hand down to the floor, please. Lift that back knee. Good. And then walk your fingertips straight ahead, standing split. Lift that left thigh parallel to the floor. Right hip stacks over right heel. Again, using blocks if you need. Good. Bend your right knee a lot. Good. And feel that inner knee pushing slightly wide. Push the inner thigh slightly wide. Then scoop your low belly and straighten the leg again, dropping the heart a little lower. Good. So try that again. Bend the knee. Feel the knee go a little wider. That's it. Scoop your belly. And then as you start to press your hips up towards the sky, let your chest drop. So it's not one or the other, but it's both at the same time. Nice, Kristen. One more time. Bend that knee. Good. Feel your weight in your heel. Scoop your belly, widen the inner knee, and then start to press your hips up as you drop your heart. Nice, Rachel. Good, you guys. And then go ahead and step that leg all the way back to lunge, please. Plant your hands. Take the right leg up and back behind you. Down dog split. Bend the knee. Kick your heel in towards your butt. Stack the right hip on top of the left. Open. Yeah. And just breathe with that. Breathe deep. Nice, Linda. Good, Victoria. Good, Debbie. Nice, Allison. Good. For your last breath, knee is still lifted, open a little wider, and then stretch that leg to straight. So the hip is still stacked, but stretch out through your heel. Good. And then without bending the knee again, scoop your belly, turn those right toes back down towards the floor. So you're in down dog split again, pelvis facing the floor. That's it. Start to walk your hands back towards your left foot. So you're coming back to a standing split or some version of it. If you have a wall behind you, fantastic. Walk your foot up the wall. Good. Nice, you guys. Deep breaths. One more, long spine. So as the leg goes up, your heart gets wider as you drop the chest. And then walk your hands back forward again, down dog split. I know no one's cold anymore. And then release the foot down to the floor. Deep breath in, drop the knees, child's pose. You can turn it back on, yeah. Good, you guys, find your breath, please. And what I think we mean, right, when we say find your breath, because when you're teaching yoga is you mean 10,000 different things when you say a phrase like that, find your breath. It means 10,000 different things. But today it means find where you're not inhaling and then exhaling, but where you are feeling yourself breathe your forever-ness, right? You're feeling yourself ride that infinite cycle that you did not begin and that you don't end. You find yourself riding the breath, becoming the breath. And that allows you to start to feel those fundamental truths. You don't have to think them. That's what realization is you don't think it, it's simply there. So we practice that, becoming the breath, becoming that infiniteness, connecting with what it's like to just be. And then being perfectly okay that while we're attempting to do that, we also have no idea what we're reaching for, because just being sounds a little foreign. One more deep breath wide into your lower back. Good. And then back up onto hands and knees, please. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale the left leg up and back behind you. So again, reaching out through the heel, deep breaths. Good. And then step the left foot between the hands, lunge. Keep your hands on the floor, fingertips on the floor, or blocks if you can't reach the floor. So you're keeping your torso level with the floor, so chest up. And then start to scoop into that low place of your belly. So it's going to feel almost like you're tucking your tail just a little bit. And you're sending your left knee forward over the ankle. And then once you've set that front thigh parallel to the floor, start to send your right heel back and your right inner thigh up slightly so that you come back to that pelvic tilt where the sit bones are wide. Good. So you're doing both. It's like you're trying to lift your hip points and flare your sit bones. Good. Squeeze the feet towards each other, lift the chest higher, and then inhale the arms up to the sky. High lunge. Don't change the legs. All right. They're in a really good, steady place. Don't mess it up. Good. Excellent, you guys. Nice melody. Nice, Allison. Take your hands back behind you, please. Interlace your fingers. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Squeeze the upper arms. And then start to bring the arms any amount towards straight, but lift your chest higher. Good. And then pull your hands up and back just a little bit so they're angled towards the back heel. So this is where you get the different stretch through your shoulders, is that you're keeping your shoulders, your ribs over your hips, but you're lifting the arms up and back. Good. Draw your low rib cage in. Keep that front thigh over the ankle, parallel to the floor. Don't waver. Good. One more breath. Kick that back thigh higher. Yes. And then release the hands up overhead. Inhale. There you go. Nice. Good, Daniel. Nice, Ralph. Release the hands down to the floor. Good, you guys. Drop that back knee, please. Both hands come inside the front foot. Walk to the upper right-hand corner of your mat. Separate your hands a little wider up on your fingertips. And again, breathing with the movement. As you exhale, bend the elbows wide, drop the chest. And as you inhale, rise back up. Good. And make sure that your hands are wide enough so that as your elbows go wide, you actually feel that your chest and your upper back get a little bit more space. So if you have to hunch your shoulders to do this action, you got to move your hands. Good. Nice, you guys. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm talking a lot this week about meditation, or meditating for myself, right? On the idea that distraction, fluctuation is not something that pulls you away from stillness. It's what helps you understand where stillness is. And that it's not the exclusion of those distractions, but the inclusion of them. Good. Bring yourself back to stillness, please. Walk your hands back in towards that front foot. Right hand plants, left arm comes to the sky, spinal twist. And then let that left knee continue to move forward over the ankle. So your pelvis is moving forward. That's it. And then you're opening the chest even more. Press into that right hand, lift through the left side of your chest. Good. Excellent, you guys. Nice, Meredith. Good, Victoria. Nice, Debbie. Beautiful. Release the left hand down to the floor. Lift that right knee, and then walk your fingertips straight ahead. Step up, standing split, using blocks under the hands if you need. Right thigh comes parallel to the floor. Good. So our awareness starts to get larger when we start to include distractions. We start to include fluctuation, that it's all part of being. It's not that there's a stillness that is supposed to be separate. It's that it's all incorporated, no separation. Bend that standing knee, please. Widen the knee just a little bit, scoop your belly. And then as you press your hips up, drop your heart at the same time. Maybe if you're using blocks, that means you just bend your elbow. Perfect, Teresa. Good. And then do it again. Bend that left knee, widen the knee, press through the heel, scoop your belly. And as you press that leg towards straight, hips to the sky, drop your heart. So again, you're moving armpits and hips opposite to each other. Good. One more time. Bend the knee deeply, widen the knee, Good, really flex that foot in the air. Good, and then start to straighten the thigh, lifting the hips, dropping the heart. Nice, you guys. Beautiful. And then step all the way back to a nice long lunge, please. Plant the hands. Left leg comes up and back, down dog split. Good. Bend the knee, take your heel in towards your butt. Stack the left hip on top of the right. So you're opening inner thigh. Breathe with that. Nice, Marlene. Good. Keep your right heel hugging in towards your midline. So again, that right leg is steady. Good, Marjorie. Carla, just flex that foot for me that's in the air. So you're really, yep. Good, good, good. And then last breath, straighten the leg. Hips are still open, so extend out. Good. And then scoop into the belly. Turn your toes, turn your pelvis back down towards the floor. So you're in down dog split, pelvis level with the floor. And then start to walk your hands back towards your right foot. So you're coming back into a standing split. And again, if you've got a wall behind you, lucky you, walk your foot up the wall. Good. Stay connected to your breath, long spine. Beautiful. Nice, Linda. Nice, Kristen. Walk the hands back forward again. Good. And then once you found that down dog split, release the left foot down to the floor. Deep breath in. Drop the knees down to the floor. Circle your hips just a little bit before you collapse into child's pose. Move your pelvis. Good. Right, every practice that we do in yoga is designed to work with our prana. So it's funny that, you know, we do a lot of very energetic things or energizing things, and then we collapse out of it and we're like, okay, I'm done. You want to circulate your prana. Move your pelvis the other way, please. Hip circles the other way. So not that you can't circulate your prana in child's pose. Of course you can. But those transitions from activity to rest is, can you find where there's that middle place? Good. And then go ahead and drop your hips back to your heels. Find the child's pose. And again, come back to or find your breath. So as you encounter distractions in meditation, what is suggested is that you bring that in, right? Your distractions become part of your meditation. And by doing that, your awareness gets broader and broader and broader, wider and wider and wider, until there is nothing in the world that can disturb you, because it's all included in your experience of what meditation is, being in that state of openness. So that's that moment of like, oh, there's just forever. I don't have to worry about this day or this moment or that moment. There's just forever. Everything is included. And that's where it's said that we come to that state where we are no longer disturbed. It doesn't mean things don't happen. It doesn't mean that we don't have reactions. But those reactions don't disturb us because we're aware of the forever-ness. And that's all we're trying to do, right? Be aware. So breathe yourself forever, right? Inhale, exhale. It's all a breath. Good. Walk yourself back up onto hands and knees, please. Come back to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Nice. And then take your right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Breathe it up. Good. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt. Stack the right hip on top of the left. So open, open, open. Good. And then again, stretch the leg towards straight. So press out through the heel. Good. Notice that you're not arching your back when you do that. So you're extending, but you're not trying to flex through the front of the thigh. Good. And then scoop your belly, point those toes down towards the floor. So transition it back to down dog split. Good. And then step that right foot forward between the hands, lunge. Nice. Drop the back heel, baby toe parallels back of your mat. Warrior two, cartwheel the arms up, shoulders come over the hips. Arms are wide. Good. Nice, you guys. Take the hands back behind you, interlace your fingers. Good. Shoulders draw up towards the ears so that your side body is nice and long. And then lean your torso forward towards the front thigh as though you are going to do a side angle pose, and draw those hands towards the back heel. So you're angling them towards the back heel. Good. Keep your front knee over the front ankle so you go a little deeper into the lunge. Nice. Widen your feet, Mark, or lengthen your feet. There you go. And turn your chest open, open, open towards the sky. So Susan, instead of pointing towards the floor, turn your chest to the side. Awesome, you guys. Good. And then stretch the arms alongside your ears, still in that forward stretch, but reach out towards the top of your mat, both arms. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Right hand touches down to the floor or a block, left arm to the sky, straight up. So your forearm is pressed to the inside of that front shin. There you go. Press wide with the forearm, squeeze your knee in, lift your chest up towards the sky. So left arm is going straight up instead of over the ear. That's it. One more breath, I promise. Good. And then start to straighten the front thigh towards triangle, continuing to feel that feeling of drawing the right shin in towards the midline, pressing wide with your forearm, left arm straight up to the sky. Beautiful. Nice, you guys. One more deep breath. Stack that left shoulder. Nice, Anastasia. Good. And then left hand to your left hip, bend your right knee, take your gaze forward. Ardha Chandrasana, right hand comes beyond the toes of the front foot. Stack the left hip on top of the right, flexing the foot again, strong thigh. If you pull your heel, that lifted heel backwards too much in this pose, you're going to overbalance yourself. So it's just like in that down dog split variation, you want to extend out through the heel, but try not to get hard through the front of that left thigh. So you're actually pulling that left foot slightly forward, and then you rotate your ribs open more. And then left arm to the sky when you've got it. Really nice, Susan. Good, Kristen. Good, Marlene. Nice, Carla. Awesome, awesome. Nice, Marjorie. Good, Victoria. Nice, Meredith. One more breath. Good. And then step all the way back to warrior two. Don't collapse. Step that left leg back behind you, shoulders over the hips, arms wide. Good. If you did collapse, just find yourself again. Excellent. Right forearm onto the front thigh, left arm over the ear, side angle. Breathe deep. Good. One more breath. Press out through that back heel. Yes. And then release both hands down to the floor, please. Beautiful. Spin your back heel up. Step back to plank pose, upward push-up. Good. And then lower down slow, coming through knees first if you need, all the way down to your belly. Good. Bend your knees, kick your heels in towards your butt. Rise up to cobra with your knees bent. So press down through the tops of the knees. Good. And then lift head, neck, and chest. Beautiful. Nice, you guys. Feel that hug of the shoulder blades behind the heart. Nice, Allison. Nice, Melody. And then release, please. Downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Beautiful. I hope you can hear your breath and that you're not just hearing it as the sound of your exhaustion, but that you hear the sound of your breath as a constant, right?
Too late.
Too late. Left leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Even if it sounds ragged and jagged and, you know, like you might be in danger of something, is connect to the sound of your breath, right? Bend that knee, kick your heel in towards your butt, stack the left hip on top of the right. Good. Right heel squeezes in. So you've got the support of that supporting leg, the standing leg, sorry. Good. Now stretch that left leg to straight, still with the hip open. Reach out, press your hips up and back. Nice, Teresa. And then draw the toes down towards the floor. Good. Down dog split. Excellent. And then step that left foot between the hands, lunge. Sound a little muffled. I don't know how to fix that. I guess I'll have to enunciate a little better. Drop your back heel, baby toe parallels back of your mat, warrior two. Shoulders come over your hips, arms wide. Good. Take the hands back behind you, interlace your fingers at the low spine, shoulders draw up so side body is long, and then start to lean your left shoulder towards the front of your mat. Again, like your inside angle pose. Good, but you're turning your ribs open towards the sky, drawing those hands towards the back heel, angling towards the back heel. Good, so really work the stack of the ribs. So the low place of the belly draws in, you're lifting that right hip up and over the left one. Good, and your left knee is over the left ankle, so you gotta be deep in the lunge. That's it. Nice, you guys. Open chest. Good. Don't change a thing, but take the arms overhead. So reaching both arms towards the top of your mat, still leaning and opening the ribs towards the sky. So turn that right rib cage open, 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 right inner thigh open. That's it. Nice, Daniel. Good, you guys. And then release the left hand down to the floor inside your front foot. Right arm goes straight up to the sky. Good. So it's a variation on side angle. So the forearm is up against the shin. Nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Reaching. Good, you guys. Press that inner knee wide, squeeze the shin in, chest open. Beautiful. And then the right hand comes to your hip, gaze down towards the floor, slide that left arm forward, Ardha Chandrasana, step up onto that left leg, right hip stacks on top of left, flex the foot. And again, try not to pull that heel back behind your hips. So you want the front of that left thigh to actually be a little bit softer. And then to open more, you've actually got to lift up through that standing thigh. You've got to lift up through your rib cage. Nice. Right arm to the sky when you've got it, or keep that hand at your hip if that's your balance point. Nice, Debbie. Good. Good, Melody. Nice, Meredith. Good, Marjorie. Excellent, you guys. Good. Allison, lift your head. There you go. And then go ahead and step back to warrior two, please. Don't collapse. Foot finds the floor. Shoulders over the hips, arms wide. Nice job. And then go ahead and bring the left forearm onto the front thigh, right arm over the ear, back to side angle, extend. Front knee over the front ankle. Don't give up on this one. Good. Chest open. Reach. Beautiful. You're breathing your forever-ness, right? You can do anything if you're forever. Good. Release the hands down to the floor, please. Spin that back heel up. Good. Step back, plank pose, upward push up. Ah, we forgot a triangle pose.
No.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Yikes. Left foot forward again. Sorry. Back to down dog. Step your left foot forward. I know. I know. Arms up to warrior two, please. Good. Straighten that front thigh. Extend the left rib cage forward. Let that left hand touch down, right arm to the sky. Trikonasana. It's good. Teresa saved you from all exploding later because you missed a triangle pose. So. Oh, it's good for you. No sorries. Open chest. Good. And then bend the knee, release the hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. Yeah, if you forget a pose, you know, it's like a ticking time bomb. Lower down slow to your belly, please. Good. Bend the knees, kick your heels in towards your butt again. Root down through the tops of those knees and then lift up to cobra, lift head, neck, and chest, dragging down and forward with the tops of the knees, the tops of the thighs. So you're not letting your hips sag towards the floor here, but you're actually drawing in and up through your pelvic bones. And then hug those shoulder blades and chest lifts. Yes. Really nice. Good, Lena. And then release, please. Press back, child's pose, hands and knees, knees wide, hips back to your heels. Nice, you guys. You're working very hard. Very good. Right? Sun energy is that energy of the energizing, the energy of your, you could say what we describe or what we experience as being that inner power, right? But if we use it in a muscly way, right, we get exhausted. It works for a few moments, but then we have to rest. That inner illumination, the forever-ness, means that you are in that state of grace. You're in that state of realization forever, unwavering. And that's what we're looking to experience, or that's what yoga says we can experience, is that inner illumination is forever. So don't get caught up in what you can or can't do on any given day, any given moment. Don't be disturbed. One more deep breath into the base of your spine. Good. And then slowly release, please, coming back up onto hands and knees. Downward facing dog. You got it. Step the right foot forward between the hands. Left foot steps forward just a little bit so that both legs can come to straight Parsvottanasana. Use blocks underneath the hands if you need. Good. Nice, you guys. Pressing into the feet, feeling that, again, that sensation of trying to lift your hip points forward first. So you're lifting your belly up off of your thighs. And then at the same time, see if you can start to take your sit bones back and wide. So you're lifting your tail slightly up. So how do you lift the front of your hip points forward and your tailbone up and back at the same time? That's the trick. Good, but you find the middle place where you are trying to do both of those things and you create a much more open back, much more open hamstrings. Good. Take one more breath here, lengthening armpit to hip. Yeah. And then start to move your left hand towards the right foot. So you're moving that left hand either to the inside edge of your foot, or you can take it to the outside edge for revolved trikonasana. So coming to the outside edge of the foot is a little bit of a deeper twist. If it feels not quite stable enough, keep the hand to the inside. And then bring your right hand up to your sacrum. So press to the lower back. Good. Pull up. So get your legs really engaged, and then start to turn the belly open to the right. Good. Keep pulling the tops of your thighs up and back. Again, tail goes up and back. Good. And then maybe you take that arm up to the sky, and maybe you don't. Right? Maybe it stays right where it is. Teresa, push the inner thighs wide and squeeze your feet. There you go. Good. And then slowly release, please. Release the twist. Excellent. Nice, you guys. Step forward, top of your mat. Good. Bend your knees, drop your belly onto your thighs. Good. Wrap the arms around the backs of the legs, please. Dropping the head. Good. Stretch the legs any amount towards straight, lifting your hips, keeping yourself hugged in. Does not matter if your knees come to straight. You're just pressing through your heels, feeling your breath in your back. Good. And then release the hands down to the floor, please. Nice job. So right foot stays forward, left leg steps back. No, other way. Left leg forward, right leg back. Sorry. Parsvottanasana, second side. Don't do the same side again. You'll also explode if you do that. Good. Finding your breath. Energy of the sun. Sensation of being a powerful being. Maybe that feels foreign. And if it does, there's nothing wrong with that, because the energy of the sun, as we say, it can be that blazing, ball of energy that incinerates things, or it's the same breath, or it's the same energy that warms you up when it's a little chilly outside, right? And to know that that source of illumination is in you, as you. Don't run from that. Instead, you breathe it in. Can I breathe in the energy of the sun, my forever-ness? Good. Start to move that right hand towards your left foot, please. Again, either choosing to place the hand inside the foot. And if you can, if you're not using a block, or even if you are, then one of the tricks here is that if you are pressing your forearm up against your shin, that helps stabilize you, right? So hand either to the inside of the foot or the outside. Left hand comes to your sacrum. Good. Push up into your hand. So again, this is getting your legs to be engaged, getting your hips to lift, and that tailbone lifts up and back. So it's a long spine. And then start to turn the belly open without collapsing, without shrugging the shoulders inward. Keep your chest open. Good. And then maybe the left arm reaches to the sky. Maybe it stays right where it is, because this is where you can really work the twist. Looks great, Victoria. Good, Melody. Nice, Allison. Good, Marlene. Nice. Nice, Marjorie. Beautiful, you guys. Breathe through your whole chest, hips back and up. Good. Release the hand back down to the floor, please. Excellent. Step forward, top of your mat. Good. Bring your feet together, big toes and inner heels to touch. Come up on your tippy toes. And then bend your knees wide into a little frog squat, dropping your hips down towards your heels. Good. Then once you're there, start to let your heels drop towards the floor any amount, as though your feet are going to come flat. They probably will not, right? Don't worry if they don't. Most of us don't. Good. Walk your hands forward, please. Shoulders inside your knees, so your knees are wide. Good. Walk the hands forward, 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 long. Yep, that's it. So your hips are pressing back in space, almost like you're going to bring your butt to the floor. Good. And your chest is lifting slightly forward. Nice. Just stretch ankles, calves, hips. You can give a little squeeze of your knees, especially if this feels like it's a very big stretch for the hips or the groins. Good. Last breath. Drop the heels, drop your hips. Good. And then walk your hands back in, gracefully come on down to sit on your butt. Feet stay in front of you. Good. Find that boat pose again. So toes in front of you. Good. Scooping into your low belly, balancing on the sit bones, float the shins up off of the floor. Good. Chest up. Yep. Nice, you guys. Nice, Lydia. Good, Linda. Good. Steady legs here. So pull your knees in towards your chest and bring your belly towards your thighs, still balancing on your sit bones. Squeeze in like you're like a little cannonball. Squeeze in. That's it. And then extend out just a little bit. Bring your thighs and your belly away from each other. Good. And then squeeze in again. Pull everything in. And then extend out. Don't do it from your shoulders. Do it from your belly. One more time. Squeeze everything in like a little cannonball. That's it. And then extend out just a little bit. Excellent. And then bring the feet to the floor, please. Bottoms of the feet together, knees wide. Baddha Konasana, the traditional treat after boat pose. Inhale the arms up to the sky. It's true, right? How many times you come out of boat, what do you almost always go into? Baddha Konasana. Arms to the sky, please. Press your seat down and back as you bow forward. So take the chest forward, lengthening armpit and hips. So hips go back and down. As the armpits come forward, chest comes forward. Extend, extend, extend. Good. And then when you've gone as far as you can, let the hands touch down. Good. Relax through the shoulders. Let the head go where it wants to go. Nice, you guys. Good. Take one more breath. And then walk yourself all the way back up, please. Excellent. Keep the right knee where it is. Extend your left leg straight down to the floor. So your right foot is going to come to the inside of the left thigh. Janu Shirshasana. If you need a blanket underneath your seat, absolutely use it. Inhale the arms up to the sky. So right knee is wide, bottom of the foot into the inside of the left thigh. Good. Little twist to your left. Bow over the left leg. So Carla, seated forward fold. There you go. Left leg extended, right foot to the inside of the thigh. Nice. Remembering that this stretch is not just for the hamstrings, but it's for the whole length of your back. So that little twist at your trunk, keep lifting the left low belly a little higher and wider. Good. Excellent, you guys. Celebrate all of the energies in your life that help to show you who you are. Every heart is a reflection of the divine heart, including yours. Every breath is a breath into that foreverness, the realization of that foreverness. Walk yourself all the way back up. Good. Switch the legs, please. Right leg comes forward. Left knee bends. Place the bottom of the foot to the inside of the right thigh. Left knee is wide. And then inhale the arms up to the sky. A little twist to the right and bow forward over the right thigh. And again, remembering that once you come into the forward fold, don't collapse your effort and think there's nothing else to do. Keep your foot awake. The toes curl back. Keep your right low belly lifting higher and wider so that you're continuing to try to get that low place of your trunk to rotate. Open. Good. We remember when we work with opposites that there is no separation, but just complementing. The masculine, feminine, we understand them as well as we do because they complement each other. They're not opposites, opposed. They're two sides of one thing, two ways of being. So can you celebrate that you have needed both of those influences, all of the influences in your life for you to know who you are? You continue to need that. But to really know who you are is not to say there's this and that and this other thing that have shown me that, but that there's that foreverness where it all comes together. One breath. Good. Walk yourself back up, please. Beautiful. So if you're sitting up on a blanket, come down off of the blanket because this is not going to work so great on it. Bend both knees, please, in front of you. Place your feet. And then you're taking your right ankle over your left thigh, but you're sitting up. Exactly. Yep. Right ankle over left thigh, like the figure 4, but you're sitting up. And then you're scooting, right? You're towards the front edge of your sit bones. With your hands, push your chest forward just a little bit more. You can move that left heel in towards your butt any amount. So it's like you're doing like a seated hip stretch. So it should feel sort of like you would doing pigeon. Good. So make sure you're not rolling backwards onto the fleshy part of your sit bones as you're leaning up onto the edge of your sit bones. Good. Chest up. And again, you can control how deep you go with this. Good. Make sure you keep your sit bones on the floor. Nice. You're using your hands to press your belly, your chest towards the legs. Keep that right foot flexed. Relax your shoulders. Tense shoulders do not make hips open any faster. They don't. Good. Deep breaths. And if you have tight hips, I don't know why you don't do this stretch every single day. You're capable of it. Some version of this every single day. Good. Last breath in this position. Deep breath. Good. Then you can let your hands stay behind you just for a moment at least. And you're staying balanced on your sit bones with your right ankle crossed, but lift your left heel up off the floor. So it's like you're doing boat pose with your legs crossed. Exactly. Yep. Balancing on your sit bones. And so you may feel like, okay, I cannot take my hands off the floor here. If you can take your hands off the floor, take your hands off the floor. Stretch your arms forward. Still with both knees bent. Yep. Yeah, so you got to really work those hip flexors. That's what I'm doing here, right? That left thigh as it pulls in, that's all hip flexor work. Beautiful. And then release the foot to the floor, release your hands. Nice job. Stretch your legs straight out in front of you for a moment. Give them a shake. Good. Go ahead and take a forward fold if you'd like, reaching for the feet. Yeah, if you didn't know where your hip flexors were or what they are, is now you know, right? Walk yourself back up, please. Second side, bend both knees. And then you're taking your left ankle over your right thigh, butt on the floor first, right? Fingertips back behind you. So again, you're not leaning back into your hands and you don't want to be rolling back onto your butt. You want to be really on that edge of your sit bones. And as you press into your hands, you're lengthening your spine. So your belly is moving forward towards your thighs, your chest is lifting. Good. And then to increase sensation, if you wanted to do that, you move your right heel in towards your right butt cheek more, as long as it doesn't make you roll backwards onto off of your sit bones. So Lena, you're a little too far back. Yeah, so you got to actually lean your pelvis slightly forward. Yeah, so it's a tilt on your pelvis. There you go. So that's the trick, right? Is if you're flexible enough, you can get so close in that you actually lose the length on your pelvis. Good. Nice, you guys. And breathe. Beautiful. It's a strange thing to be in that moment when I feel like when we're in a deep stretch, it's a strange thing to be in that moment of opening, waiting for something to open. Saying, when is this not going to feel this way anymore? Let that go. Instead, you bring the sensation into a wider spaciousness. So you become aware of sensation that is beyond this sensation, right? So there's what's going on in your hip, and then there's the rest of creation that's happening. Connect to that. Bring the sensation of your hip into that. The less narrow we are, the more we come into that state of foreverness. Good. Last breath like this. And then whether you think it's better or worse, here we go. You can keep your hands behind you if you'd like. Lift that right shin up off the floor. Keep the ankle stacked. Again, hands can stay behind you if that's where you're at today, just working through the legs. If you can lift the arms up and find that balance point, chest nice and long. Nice, Allison. Good, Debbie. Good. And then you're bending that right knee as much as you can to keep your legs in that number 4 stretch. Good. So don't cheat and try and straighten the legs. Squeeze in. That's it. Chest up. Really good. Good. Nice, Ralph. Good, Rachel. Good, Lena. And then release the feet, please. Excellent. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Give them a shake. Yep. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Forward fold. Good. Bow deeply. With asana, we tone the outer body. With meditation, we tone the inner body. So don't forget to meditate today. One more breath. Good. And then walk yourself all the way back in, please. Very nice. Good. Find your way back onto your backs, please. If you have a block, bring a block with you. So if you're in the room and you want to turn yourselves around, you're welcome to do that. It's up to you. Good. But coming into a supported bridge pose. So as you bend your knees, plant the feet, place a block underneath your sacrum, whatever height you choose. Good. Nice. And finding yourself again, breathing from armpit to hips. So part of the idea here is that you are supporting the lower spine in this position. You let the chest open. And a passive stretch for the abdominals. We forget, right? When we do abdominal work, that you're contracting muscles, and a contracted muscle really appreciates being stretched after it's had to work. So allowing the belly to become soft so that you breathe wider. Allowing the breath to not just be an inhale and an exhale, but an experience of being. Where our perspective is one that it starts to include more and more and more, so that what we find in our awareness is not the tendency to separate. This is this and that is that, but instead there's just everything that is our foreverness. And that our foreverness includes those individuals that act like how we define mothers, and those people who act like how we define fathers. And they act like how we define friends, and they act like how we define enemies. And the more inclusive we are of all of those things being part of our state of being, part of our enlightenment, part of our foreverness. The more we do that, the less we are disturbed. And that's it. Yoga is not to change the world. Yoga is not to change yourself. Yoga is to realize the end result is that you realize what it is to be at peace. You realize what it is to be undisturbed, to be foreverness. And then you can go do whatever you want, undisturbed. The energy of the sun today, the brightest day, maybe not the brightest that the sun will ever be, but the highest, longest day. You breathe in illumination so that you can feel the deeper truths of your life, deeper truths of who you are, who others are. you're happy where you are, you can stay. If you would like to, keep the block there, take your legs up to the sky. Supported shoulder stand, you're welcome to do that. Again, doing it on purpose at this point to try and keep it supported instead of a full shoulder stand so that there's more of that sensation of allowing the pose to do its work and less of you being obsessed with your muscles doing the work. And even here with your legs up, can you find that little bit of an arch in your lower spine so you keep your sacrum really rooted onto the block so the tops of your thighs move away from your belly just a little bit. Nice. So interesting to watch just your feet on camera and wondering what the rest of you is doing as your feet are fidgeting around. Good. Take one more breath where you are. And then as you're ready, let the feet come back down to the floor. Good. Lift your hips up off of the block. Place your block to the side. And slowly release the hips back down to the floor. Good. Pausing for a moment, let the spine settle. Good. And then draw the knees back in towards your chest, please. Hug. And take the knees wide for happy baby, reaching for the ankles or the edges of the feet, inner or outer. Again, letting the knees stay nice and wide, heels come slightly in. Good. We always appreciate a pose after or towards the end of class more than if we do it at the beginning. Nice, you guys. Draw the knees back in towards your chest, squeeze. Good. Right knee hugs in, left leg extends down to the floor. Come into spinal twist. I know you were afraid for a second it was going to be more abdominal work. Right arm goes wide. I considered it. Deep breath. A younger me would have totally done it. Come back to center, please. Squeeze the right knee in towards your chest. Good. And then extend that leg down to the floor. Switch. Bring the left knee in. Good. And then come into your twist on the other side, taking the knee across the body. Left arm wide. This idea that you build prana through your practice. You build it because you're bringing your awareness to it. So it's not like doing push-ups gives you more prana. If you're doing push-ups in a really stressful way, you're losing prana that way, I promise. But you build prana by using your whole body, by using your mind, by using your breath more consciously. And then we're asked to circulate it, is don't just give it away immediately. Don't throw it away with your thoughts. Don't throw it away with your emotions. Don't throw it away with categorizing everything and pulling yourself apart. We're asked to circulate it. Let it be one breath. Come back to center, please. Squeeze that knee in towards your chest. So the results of your practice, right, is that you bring yourself back together. That's yoga. It's unity. Good. Bring the right knee in as well. So both knees back in towards the chest. Bring your forehead up to meet your knees. Hug. And that means that you hollow the belly. It means you press down through your lower back. Relax the shoulders. Apanasana, right? Release. And then let the body go, please. Stretching the legs out in front of you. Arms alongside you. Palms facing up. Place yourself for Shavasana. So that means set your body up well. Make sure that you're warm if you tend to get cold. And then set your mind up well, where you're not falling back into habitual thinking, no laundry lists or grocery lists or what you're going to do as soon as you get up. Maybe stay with your breath and ride the breath, right? Become the breath. And if you are distracted, draw that distraction in. It becomes part of the breath. Every breath is circulating your prana. And this is how we become powerful beings. As we start to become aware of the prana that we are. Very gently bring the awareness back to the breath, deeper to the breath if it's been there the whole time. Let the body begin to stretch, move, whatever ways serve it well. And as you're ready, draw the knees in towards your chest. Roll to your right side. And take a moment before you begin to push the floor away. Come back to an upright seated position. Drawing the hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm. We celebrate that we need masculine energy as much as we need feminine. We need the individuals who act the way we define as mothers and as fathers and as friends and as enemies and sisters and brothers. And we need all of it. Because the realization is that all of it is the same energy. It's the same Shakti. It's the same universal soul, the same universal heart speaking through many voices, many faces, and you need every single bit of it. So our practice, that sun energy, since it is the solstice, that sun energy is the illumination where we have that moment of realizing that we're all together, that we need absolutely every influence that has brought us into this world and continues to move with us through this world. And when we stop defining each other or stop defining ourselves as opposed, we start defining ourselves as one, our awareness gets broader and broader and broader. And we are no longer disturbed by each other. Instead, we become the reason why we all become uplifted, why we all become enlightened. So this state of being is described as masculine when you are in that height of realization, the height of illumination. Breathe it in, that this is you. You are forever. And as that starts to become one and the same as you being right now, this moment every day, then you are no longer disturbed as things change. You simply ride those changes. You ride the breath. And you celebrate all those beings that show you who you are. And you celebrate that light, that sun energy that helps you to feel those deeper truths. As yoga says, the one deepest truth is that we are all one. There is one breath, one heart. So you bring that in close. Breathe it in with every breath until you stop forgetting it. Sound of Om, deep breath in. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. Go celebrate your dads and people who act like dads and whoever else is huge in your life. Go celebrate them, even if they make you crazy, celebrate them.
Thank you, Veronica.
You're welcome. I will see you soon. Meditation is at 11 if you want to stay or come back. If not, have a great day.